Well, a very good evening to all of you. Well, not all of you. Very good evening to some of you. And let's just get this show on the road. Here we go. Okay, good evening, everyone. Good afternoon to some of you. And good morning to our friends tonight who have stayed up in Dubai. It's just 1 after midnight. Thank you, Team Dubai. Thank you for joining us on this call. We have people tonight from South Africa, all African continent. We have people from, let's see, Australia's in that. No, it's impossible. You're from, let me just go through my way. Let me go back. Alpha D, Andy, Barry Burgos is in the house. We've got BES, Bjorn's here. That's Norway. Brad, how are you? Carol's here. Carolyn's here. David's here. Don Chi, welcome. So Nigeria's in the house. Iti's here. iPhone's here. Always Glenn, how are you? Another iPhone. Iwan's here. Jason, how are you? We have to have a chat about our meeting the other day. How did that go? Luffy's in the house. Lorna's in the house. Leroy's in the house. Mariska's in the house. Mark S. Mel is here. Quite a few people here. I'm just going to go down. YBLN coach is in the house as well. Well, thank you all for joining us. Let's get tonight started. 1 wee second.
Recording stopped. Recording in progress.
Well, hello everyone, and thank you for attending this short training. We're going to just run through a few points. Some people have asked, would I feature again the potential for anyone to be one of Brian Benson's millionaires. Brian Benson has come across with a couple of, I suppose, short-term goals. And when I say short-term, I'm saying one to 3 years is kind of short-term. He wants to build a billion-dollar brand. He wants to create 1,000 millionaires on that journey, and that's a short-term. That's one of his short-term goals. When you hear his long-term vision, when you listen to the video they've created for what's going to happen over the next 10 years, you certainly get a great feeling about a man on a mission, a man with a vision, a man with great intentions. And I think if today we're going to focus a little bit on the training side of things. We're not going to cover too much about the opportunity. This is designed for those already in the opportunity. We're not trying to recruit anybody here. We're just trying to give you a few tips and hints that might help or guide you on your journey with the opportunity. If you're just a customer, that's all you're interested in, then today's not going to really suit you on this particular call. All you need to do as a customer is learn how to deposit and learn how to withdraw. It's as simple as that. Everything's done for you. The AI does it for you. But Jason and I were talking about AI, meaning all in. We're in the all in business. If you want to go to the top, if you want to be one of Brian Benson's millionaires, you got to get all in. You got to, can you see that's in the water there? You got to immerse yourself in the water. You can't stand outside a swimming pool and start walking around the perimeter of the pool without getting wet. And people look at you doing this action or whatever these actions are, and they say, what are you doing? Well, I'm learning how to swim. Not a chance. Not a chance, kiddo. You got to get in the water, and you got to immerse yourself in the water. And the faster and the sooner you do that, the faster, the sooner you absorb. You've got to be a sponge and absorb the information. You need to know everything about Brian Benson. You need to know everything about the company. You need to know everything about the suite of products and the ecosystem that's available. You need to understand the comp plan over a period of time, not day, 1 week, 1 month, absolutely not. But over a period of your first 90 days, that's when you get the best out of people, their first 90 days. Why? Well, because they're brand new. They have seen the vision. They're excited. That's when you're going to get the best out of them. 90 days after, if the person's locked in and they're on a mission and they're focused, yes, after 90 days is great. But in those first 90 days, that's where you're going to get the best out of your team. That's when you're going to get the best even out of yourself. That's when you lay the foundations to your organization. And if you can drive those organizations, and we want to talk about that tonight, when you drive those organizations and that starts to gain momentum, don't get into management mode. keep in zone one, keep building, keep pushing, because people will do as you do, not as you say. People will do as you do, not as you say. And therefore, you've got to lead with example, you know? You've got to be the person you'd like your sponsor to be. Think about that. You need to be the person you'd like your sponsor to be. And start rolling up your sleeves, starting absorbing yourself in the information. Now, the good news is we have people starting after 6 months making $500,000. We have one kid, I call him a kid, he's 33 years old. He lost his job last August, July or August. And he said, you know, HB, I don't know what to do. I've lost my job, there's pressure in the house, I have 2 kids, I don't know what I'm going to do. The boss owes me money now for 2 or 3 months. I don't seem to be getting my bonuses. This is terrible. And I said, well, you'll never make money working for anybody else. You got to work for yourself. I said, go get a taxi, go get an Uber license, go start driving all the hours you can, start creating more money than somebody to pay you. You know, become your own boss. My father did that. He started a limousine business when he was 50 years old in a country he'd never been to, and developed a multi-million-pound business by word of mouth, driving rich and famous people around Southern California. And I said to this guy, I said, listen, get yourself a license, get yourself a car. He said to me, I can't afford a car. I don't have a taxi license. I don't know what to do. And I said to him, if I showed you a business for $20, would you take it serious? Would you take it as though it was $200,000? Would you give that $20 the thought process that it was a $200,000 investment in your business? And would you then go to work to retrieve that $200,000? So that's what you've got to do. It's too easy, too fickle for a $20 business to set it by the side if it doesn't work. If somebody says no to you first time out the gate, you go, that doesn't really work. I asked a couple of people, they weren't interested, so it doesn't work. No, that's wrong. Of course it works. If it's working for others, it works. It's just it didn't work for you, or you didn't work for it. So you've really got to trick your mind into believing you've invested $200,000 in the foundations of your traditional business, like opening a shop, buying a shop. My first shop cost more than that. I had to get planning permission. I had to speak to the fire authorities and make sure the building was fireproof. I had to get insurance. I had to speak to the bank. I had to work for overdrafts. I had to speak to the suppliers. I had to speak to the council. I had to speak to, it took 6 months to open the business. 6 months, and here you can open a business in 1 minute. But it took 6 months. I had to find staff. I had to recruit the staff. I had to train the staff. Here, you have no overhead. You've no rent to pay, no rates to pay, no insurance to pay, no deliveries, there's no cost. There's literally no cost. With an internet connection at $20, you can have a successful business. So this guy on the 16th of August told me he didn't even feel comfortable parting with the $20. That's how little money he had. And on a Zoom yesterday, he revealed that he'd made $488,000 to date since the 16th of August. He's never had experience in this industry, building teams. And when you can take somebody that low, I can tell you what made him successful was he needed this like he needed oxygen. He needed this to save his family. He needed this to keep a roof over his head. And the guy's running around now with nice Rolexes. He's driving a Mercedes. His life has changed immensely because he got all in the business. He got all in. He wanted to learn everything. He just kept bugging me. What about this? And how does that work? Where is this withdrawal going? He just was so absorbed. He immersed himself in Aurum, and he learned what he needed to learn, and he went to work. But what more important is he was teachable. Teachable. So that's one thing you need to write down. You've got to be teachable. If something's not working for you, maybe you're saying the wrong thing, or maybe you're doing nothing. That's what I find. Most people do nothing. They join a business. They say they're going to build a business, but they don't go AI. They don't go all in. They dip their toe in the water and take it out. Oh, that water's cold. Oh, that water's hot. And off they go. Because they didn't prepare themselves, they didn't learn, they weren't willing to learn, because you only need three things in this business, and we'll talk about that today. And you can't lead and grow other people unless you're leading and growing yourself. And this guy's done this. He's got 18,000 distributors in his team now. 18,000. He started on the 16th of August. Incredible story. And you've got to prepare yourself for success. It's like a jigsaw. I don't know how this works. Don't know what to say to people. I don't know how that product works. Where do I get USDT? And how do I know this? And what's this? And you've got to just be patient. You've got to be willing to learn. You've got to put the jigsaw together. You got to use the tools. Yeah. There's lots of tools out there. There's Zooms. There's webinars. There's training seminars. There's the Shane Moran call once a week. There's the VIP calls. There's lots of leadership calls. There's videos. There's materials in your back office. There's lots and lots and lots and lots of stuff. And there's more tools coming. Under materials in your back office, you'll see it, the presentation in different languages. You'll see videos how to onboard customers. And of course, be prepared to fail. That's the thing. People aren't prepared to fail. They fail once or they fall once and that's it. They back off. They back off. So you've got to be prepared to fail. You know, look at this guy. Where is he hitting the arrows? He's aiming at the target, but he's not hitting the target. Well, we don't expect the new people to hit the target first time. It takes you to learn. It takes you to practice. It takes you to train yourself. How are you holding the arrow? What are you pointing it at? What is the arc? Is the arrow falling down all the time? You need to maybe head it up and then go down to hit right in the center. It's a bit like when they send a rocket to the moon. It's not like from Earth straight up to the moon. No, it goes up and it goes like this, and then it goes like this, and then they change course and go like this, and then they go like this, and then they go like this, and then they keep adjusting and keep adjusting because the world is moving. And when it leaves Earth, the planet's turning and turning and turning, and they've got to readjust before they hit perfectly and put something on the moon or in space. And the same here. It may not go right for you first time, but be prepared for that. Know that. And it's like sending an army to war. You've got to shield your people. You've got to shield your armor. You've got to put on your armor. You've got to protect your new distributor. You've got to give them the tools. You've got to support them. You've got to be there to help them onboard other customers. You've got to be there to answer questions for them. There's lots you got to do in leadership. And you've got to, what I call, fail forward. You go and make a couple of mistakes and you learn from those mistakes and go again. Everything is learned from mistakes. Edison, who designed the light bulb, apparently failed 10,000 times. And at the end, wow, got it. Oh my goodness, we got it. We got it. So fail means the first attempt in learning. You're just learning. It's like when you're a child and your parents, you know, when you're a baby, you can't walk. When you're a baby, you can't talk. But you go and take a step and you fall, and the parents lift you up. You take another step and you fall. And then you start to crawl, and then you get up on the sofa, and then you start to take another step, and then 2 steps, and you fall again. And you keep doing that, and you fail forward. You learn. You learn how to balance yourself. You learn how to take those couple of steps. And it takes you 9 months to 14 months to learn how to walk. You live on the planet 9 months at least without walking and talking. Maybe one word, mama, dada. Baby steps. And same here. You're joining this business, but take those baby steps. What I find is most people are aiming at nothing, and they're hitting it every time. They get up and they don't do anything with the business. They go through a whole day without onboarding a customer, without talking to a customer, without developing a team. They're aiming at nothing, and they hit it with incredible accuracy because they didn't shoot for anything. They just get up, same clothes, same breakfast, same vehicle, down the same road, to the same job, put in the same time, watching their watch, deciding, I can't wait to get home, fighting the traffic home, getting home, having something to eat, sitting in front of the television, fall asleep, go to bed, get up, when this annoying little thing starts ringing in the morning, and they do that again and again and again and again and again for 40 years of their life. You see, you can't expect things to change if you don't change. You can't keep doing the same thing to expect a totally different result. And I'm not saying stop your job and stop your business and stop your career. I'm saying you got to do something extra. You got to do something different. You got to say, okay, let me give this 2 hours a day. And most people will say, I don't have 2 hours a day. I'm too busy as it is. You have 2 hours a day. I'll give you 2 hours. Go to bed 1 hour later than you normally do, and get up 1 hour earlier than you normally do. There's 2 hours today. Do that 5 days a week. You've got 10 hours to put in your business. Or get off that stupid thing there, or that stupid box on the wall that does not make you money. That stupid box where people sit for hours in the evening. And this stupid thing here, they sit for hours. Look at your screen time. That does not make you money. So if you're interested in making money, you've got to change something. You've got to give up something. Give up the golf on a Saturday. Give up whatever it is. Sacrifice something to gain. That's what you've got to do. And this is a roller coaster. It's not going to be smooth. Absolutely not. Not for the company, not for you, not for anybody. Yeah? It's an up and down. It's like going to the top of the mountain. Very difficult to do. But would you agree with me? The view from the top of the mountain is better than the view from the bottom of the mountain. And you can't go to the top of the mountain in one day, can you? No, you're not prepared. You don't have the right feet for starters. You can't go up in those chutes. You're going to get blisters. There's going to be rocks. You're going to go over your heel. You're going to get injured. You've got to change your footwork. You've got to train to be aerobically fit to go that high. The oxygen's different up there. You've got to prepare muscle. You maybe go up 1/3 of the mountain and come back down. And go away and do some more groundwork. And maybe a week later, come back and do that again and come back down. And then the next time, go halfway up the mountain, come back down and prepare yourself. Get business fit. Get fit for your business. And that comes with training. That comes with learning and knowledge. That comes with personal development. That comes with reading. That comes with studying. That comes with doing. Studying enough is not enough. You can study all you want. I know some very smart people. They've no money. Very intelligent. Went through the whole schooling process. Experts. But they know nothing about business. They're employees for some other firm. They're capped at $100,000 a month, or $100,000 a year. They're capped with their income. They're stuck because they never risked anything. They never get into business. They never put into practice what they knew. They offered their services to other people in other businesses, but didn't take that on board for themselves. So here, it's going to be a roller coaster. And all you need to do is agree that you're going to the top of the mountain. Now, the good news here is you can't go to the top of the mountain on your own. It's not that you're not allowed to. It's impossible. You've got to take some support with you. You've got to reach out and help 3 people come part of the way up the mountain. When you just get up, you take a break. It's called Voyager. Take a little break there, maybe for a day, recuperate, enjoy it, take a look at the view, and then have a look where you have to go, all the way up to Vanguard. And you can't leave those 3 guys at Voyager to get to Vanguard. You got to take them with you. And you work as a team. And you work your way up. You don't need new people. The same 3 people can take you to the top of the mountain, but you have to support each other. And when you get them up to Vanguard, you will be able to see the vision from the Vanguard Pro level and help them all the way up and take them to Nexus, Oracle. And then when you get to Prime, you're halfway up the mountain. Yeah? When you know how to do that part, it's just repetition and help those people. Now, if somebody falls and gets injured and they have to be airlifted off the mountain, that's fine. You can still go to the top of the mountain at a certain point with 2 others. 2 others. You don't need to take all 3 to the top. It's better that you do. It's easier you do. And once you go to the top of the mountain, go back down and help others up to the top of the mountain. Show them the path. Show them how you've done it. Yeah? Help. Reach out. Support. Help them go on board. Even if you don't know, look upline. Go find that leader that's doing it. Go and find that expert that knows how to do it. Reach out for help. Reach out for support. We're a community, and we're building this road together. Nobody's been to the top of the mountain yet. The mountain is called Alpha, the Alpha Mountain. Nobody knows what the view's like up there. But you can come on a journey and take yourself one step at a time, one block at a time. You only need three things. You need a burning desire to succeed. You've got to be wanting this. You know, you've got to attach something to the reason why you're doing it. If you don't have a reason, if you don't have a goal, there's no way you're going to go to the top of the mountain. There's got to be something up there. Why don't you set $1 million at the top of the mountain? Now, I can tell you, you're far wrong. There's about 10 million up there. I've heard there's 10 million at the top of the mountain. But trick yourself into believing there's 1 million up there, and is 1 million enough to do that? If I told you right now, take off your shoes and socks, could you do that? The answer is yes, you could. If I told you to walk outside and head out to the end of the road, take a left, could you do that? And if I told you to start walking along that road for 3 kilometers, could you do that? You could. Would you? You could, but would you? Why would you? What are you doing that for? Why are you walking on the road with no shoes? Why are you walking on the road with no socks? What happens when you go over on a little stone, a little pebble, and hurts your foot? Do you limp back home and say, I'm not going down the road anymore? What happens when a car drives past and there's a puddle of water, it splashes over you, you get wet? What happens as it starts raining? Do you go home? Or do you keep going down the road? You see, there's got to be a reason. There's got to be something at the end of the road to make you do that. Imagine I told you that 300 kilometers from where you live, there's a McDonald's. And in the corner of that McDonald's, there's a trash can, a bin. And if you lift the lid of the bin and take out the rubbish bag, the garbage, at the bottom of the bin, there's a little case. When you open that little case, there's $1 million in it. But the only way you can get there is take off your socks and shoes and go out to the end of the road and face the music, face the wind, face the rain, face the sun. No sleep. Work, work. You hurt your feet will get bruised. You'll get wet, it'll be windy. And you have to walk 300 kilometers to get there. Would you do it? Lots of people would turn back and say, I can't do that. It's not worth it. So you've got to find something that makes you want to go to the top of the mountain, whatever that is. Maybe it's your children. Maybe it's your grandchildren. Maybe it's a passionate thing you want to do. Maybe something like help a charity, help the homeless. Maybe it's about helping hungry people. Maybe about us helping your community. Maybe whatever it is, you've got to know exactly why you're in this business. Don't say, I just want $1 million. $1 million is no good to anybody. Most people who win the lottery 3 to 7 years later have lost $1 million. 9 out of 10 don't have any money 3 to 7 years later. Why? They never had $1 million before. Why? They don't appreciate money. They don't understand money. They don't know how to work money. They had a great time, but now they've no money because they did not understand the power. Money's a good thing. Money can also be a very bad thing if you don't know how to appreciate it. And most people don't get this education. They don't get this education in school. And if you haven't been in the hard road of knocks, if you haven't been in business for yourself, you'll not have that experience of the ups and downs of business. But you've got to have a burning desire to succeed. If you want to be one of Brian Benson's millionaires, you've got to attach something to why. Why would you like to be that millionaire? What would you do with $1 million? You don't know. You don't know because you didn't believe you were worthy. You don't know because you never thought about it. The number one reason why people don't have a business is they never thought about having one. They come through a schooling system that puts them into a job. Work for a job, work for a company, work for 40 years, find a good company, get a pension, retire. That's their plan. With this business, you've got to have another plan. You've got to really attach something worthy to what it is you want. You know, maybe it's a health thing that you need. Maybe it's a travel thing that you want. Maybe it's a family thing that you want. What are you going to be remembered for? Have you thought about that? Oh, yes, she was a nice lady. Forgotten. Oh, he was a nice gentleman. Forgotten. Oh, that's the nice lady that set up the food shelter 15 years ago. She had this AI bot. What was it called? I can't remember. EXA. Yeah, she made a lot of money there, and she set up that center, and look at it now, thriving, and it's starting to expand. That was that lady, or that was that gentleman. So find a worthy cause that you can attach your effort to and get a burning desire, a passion to be successful. And of course, you've got to be willing to learn. And I know you guys are. This presentation is really for those that aren't here today. Isn't that strange? But this presentation is for you to take the golden nuggets and bring that to your team. You see, I have 40,000 people in the team. I can promise you there's not 40,000 people on this Zoom. And that's why you're special. But those that aren't here are the ones that need this most. But if you can tell them or help them get this passion, this burning desire, if you can tell them that you've got to be willing to learn and change, yeah, you've got to start studying this thing. And you've got to start believing in yourself that you can do it. But even with all the study, there's some guys say to me, hey, HB, I don't really understand the compensation plan. I said, is that right? And, well, you know, I need another, maybe if I understood that, I could maybe get started maybe next week. Okay, so once you understand the comp plan, you're going to start next week. Is that right? Okay. And other people say, I don't really know. I haven't got this card yet. You know, once I get the card, I'll maybe start this business. Is that right? You see, you got to be willing to work. You got to be willing to work. You got to roll your sleeves up. You got to dedicate time to your business. So here's what I do. I tricked myself into, number one, believing I spent $200,000 and I need it back. And I need to go to work with a discipline that gets me back my $200,000. I know it only costs 20, but you've got to get that out of your head. It's 200,000 you got to get back. And think if you invested in a shop on the high street or in the mall, and that shop's sitting down there, the doors are closed all day. How's that shop going to do business if the doors are closed? You need to go down there and clean the windows. You need to go down there and turn off the alarm. You need to go down there and check the float. You need to go down there and make sure the staff are in time. You need to go down there and order the products. You need to go down there and take the lodgements. You need to go down there and serve the customer. Treat it like a business, and you'll get a business income. But most people show up on a Zoom once a week or twice a week, 2 hours. The work is not done on the Zoom. Even though I do 5 or 7 of these every day, the work is not on the Zoom. The work is after the Zoom. The work is putting the knowledge into practice. The work is picking up the phone, the hardest thing to do, and say, hey, Tom, I have something very interesting to show you. If I send you a link to some information, would you take a look at it? You would? Okay. When are you in front of your computer? I'll send it to you now. 1 second. Bye-bye. I just got Tom on a Zoom. I didn't mention Brian Benson. I didn't mention AI. So if you're on a phone call trying to describe this, that's not going to work. And secondly, it's not duplicatable. If you can say it, but your guest can't say it, it's not duplicating. You see, you've got to get out of your comfort zone. It's very hard. The phone gets very heavy. If I says, I want you to pick up the phone after this presentation and ring 10 people about Aurum, and you say, yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to the top of the mountain. Yeah, I'm going for that $1 million. The Zoom's over and you get a cup of tea and you look at your phone and you go, who am I going to call? And you don't even know because you don't have a list. You haven't written down prospect list. That's what you need to do. You need a list of at least 100 people. And don't say, well, I've got 3,000 names on the phone. I don't need a list. They're all here. No good. First thing you do is you write down the list of everybody you want to show this to. The second thing is you scribble their name off again. Only when you've invited them to the Zoom. When you get through that list, and all you're looking out of 100 people is 3 people to do this. That's all you're looking for. 3 out of 100. So now you can feel 97 times get to the top of the mountain, as long as you teach those three to do the same thing. You see, the magic happens outside of your comfort zone. Your comfort zone is everything you have. The house you live in is because you're happy, you're comfortable in that house. Or maybe it's the house you can only afford. Your dream house is probably not the house you're in. It's more likely that guy's house or that lady's house or that big house you saw on the hill or that house in the forest or that house on the beach. The house you really want is not yours. The car you really would like is out of your comfort zone because you're driving the car you're comfortable with, the one you can afford, the one you can finance. So to get those things you want, you got to step out from this comfortable zone that you're in to make things happen. And once you've received success in doing the things that need to be done, then teach your team to do what you have achieved. Show them the road to Voyager. I believe the whole business can be built with Voyagers. If you become a Voyager producing machine, you're going to the top. And Voyager is only $7,500. It's not a big chunk. It's not a big task. It's doable. And if you can go Voyager and help 3 others go Voyager, you know what you are? You're Vanguard. You've got to go for the promotion. You've got to create your own story. Hey, Tom, how are you? Who's that? It's HP here, HP. Oh, hey, how are you? Hey, Tom, I've got this great business. Well, I think it's great because I joined it a year ago and I've got one customer now, and I'm about another 6,000 away from Voyager, and it's a great business. It's probably the best business I've ever seen. Now, what sort of nonsense is that? Great business, thousands of dollars away from the first rank. You've got one customer. You see, people buy success. You need to create a story because people will follow that success. When you can do it, they can do it. If you can't do it, because they're going to ask you. They're also going to ask you, what did you start with? If you start with $100, they'll start with $100. If you can push yourself to 1,000, they'll start with 1,000. If you can push yourself to 5,000, they'll start with 5,000. Here's what I did. I got on the phone. I attended the training. I made a few mistakes. I twisted around and found out a system that would work for me. I copied this, I copied that. That's what I did. Get a story. I went Voyager in my first 72 hours. Wow, well done. I hit Vanguard after 9 days. Wow, well done. I hit Vanguard Pro after 6 weeks. 6 weeks to Vanguard Pro. And create a story. And then help 3 up the mountain to where you are. And that just brings you higher. That's all it is. You see, you can go the whole way to the top with just 3 people. And what I like about that is, and I'm not saying just get 3 people, more the merrier. But we know in the industry, most people are not salespeople. If I was speaking to 100 people on this call, I would guess 5 of you are salespeople, 95 are not. And therefore, we have to have a business that works not just for the salespeople, because this works for salespeople, but it also works for the non-sales type. And most people are non-sales type. And it has to work for them. So you can go to the top here with 2, but it takes 3 initially, and it can drop to 2 later on. If you don't know what I mean, there's certain ranks you need. You need to bring 3 people up certain ranks, but when you get 3 from the top, that changes. You only need 2 ranks to go the last 2 ladders to the top of the mountain. That's what I meant earlier. If someone fell off the mountain, you're almost there. At least you can still get to the top with 2 if you lose a leg. Yeah? If somebody goes off to another business or something happens, you can still get to the top with 2. So with a plan, you can generate 2 or 3 people, take you to the top. That's a plan that tells me, wow, everybody can do this. Everybody can do this. In fact, you can introduce people to this without having the product yourself. Did you know that? You can sign up for $20, introduce me, and get paid. even without the product yourself. Now, you can't progress to Voyager or anywhere else, but you can certainly join for $20 and start building this business. You can make enough out of the business to afford $100 to put into the product. But it's very, very simple. $7,500 takes you to Voyager. That's not a difficult journey. I believe everybody can do that. But here's the question. If everybody can do it, when are you going to do it? Have you done it? Are you already at Voyager? It's just $7,500 of business, one customer. Go and talk to the business people. Go and talk to the people that understand money and how money works. Go and talk to a business person that knows it takes hundreds of thousands to develop a business, and see will they try a $1,000 product or a $2,000 product. It's very easy if you start talking and get out of your comfort zone and start building. It could be one customer, $7,500, and you're on your way to Voyager. Voyager gives you 5% on deposits rather than 3%. It gives you 5% every day on all of your customers to infinity levels, as long as there's no other customers on the line. You get a $100 cash bonus. Instantly done. If you bring 2 Voyagers up the mountain, 2 steps up the mountain, 2 Voyagers, you go Vanguard with $25,000 in total team trading. The good news, and this is what I like about the plan, you can get to the top with 2 or 3 people. But the other thing is you don't need to find the superstars yourself. They can appear anywhere in depth. Yeah? We have this expression, every dud knows a stud. So just because you don't think this person's fit to build the business, introduce them because they know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody. There's your stud. Could be the 4th generation down. Could be the 11th. Doesn't matter. 2 Voyagers anywhere in depth. Now, of course, they could be frontline as well. That would be ideal. But I love this, that it can be from anywhere on 2 different lines. It gets you up to Vanguard. And if you help 3 people do just that, guess what? You're Vanguard Pro. You smash Vanguard Pro. Why would you smash Vanguard Pro with 3 Vanguards? Because a Vanguard needs 25,000. And if you had 3 people up that ladder to 75,000, 3 times that, you only need 62. You've smashed it. If you help 3 people to Vanguard Pro, 360,000 is 187,500. You only need 125 to go Nexus. If you help 3 people to Nexus, that's 375. You only need 250 to get to Oracle. Help 3 people get up to Oracle. That's $750,000. You only need 625. So it's a very simple building block. 3, helping 3, helping 3. But of course, if you want to be one of Brian Benson's millionaires, you've got to go higher up that mountain. And of course, Dominion pays a $500,000 bonus. And most people, when they look to the top of the mountain, they say, Dominion, I can't do that. The only thing you can't do is think like that. Write that down. The only thing you can't do is think like that. You can go all the way to the top of the mountain. Hey, listen, Dominion's 3/4 away up the mountain. There's 3 more ranks to come after. That's why I said, trick yourself that there's $1 million at the top of the mountain and you're going to the top. But of course, you get $1 million, $2 million, $3 million bonus. There's another $6 million. In fact, it's more likely that you'll have made about $10 million by the time you reach the top of the mountain. And that journey might take you a whole year. That may take you 2 years. It might take you 3 years. But you've got to tell yourself it's worth doing. It's life-changing. It's life-changing. If we look at Dominion, we need $25 million. And that's when people look at that number, they go, oh, $25 million. Oh, sure, I couldn't do that. You don't have to do that. I've told you what you need to do. Go Voyager and help 3 people go Voyager. That's all you need to do. And teach that. That simple building block brings you all the way to the top of the mountain. So somebody asked for this again, how do you do it? It's very, very, very simple. If this is you, and you go Voyager, all you want to do is help 3 people. So do you know 3 people that would like to go to the top of the mountain with you? You might have to find 10 people to find these 3. You might have to talk to 15 people to find these 3. But that's all you need, 3 people. If I give you $1 million, when will you get the 3? If I give you $1 million tonight, would you have 3 people in the business before I hand it over? What just changed? Hard to get 3 people in the business. You don't even have 3 people in the business yet. But the fact that I was giving you $1 million tonight, if you brought those 3 people in the business, when did you do it? You did it tonight. You just told me you could find 3 people tonight. Why? What changed? What changed your thinking? It was the $1 million, wasn't it? I bring 3 people in tonight, he gives me $1 million. Right. I just tricked your mind. You tricked your mind. It's worth doing, isn't it? So you want to do that as fast as you can. You want to get Voyager, because if you go Voyager, it's easy to help your people go Voyager. But imagine I gave you a whole month to find 3 people. Does that make it easier for you? You don't have to do it tonight. You could probably do it in 72 hours. 1 person today, 1 person tomorrow, 1 person the next day. 3 days is 72 hours. You can find 3 people in 72 hours from now. If there's $1 million in it, you could, couldn't you? If I made it easier and I give you a week to do it, could you do that in a week? Oh, that's easier. Yes, I'll definitely do it in a week. But what if I give you a month to do it? Could you do it in a month? Oh, well, of course I could do it in a month. You see, it's what you tell yourself. You're going to do it in a month, a week, a day, or tonight if you get $1 million. But let's say it took you a whole month to find 3 people. Would that be fair enough? You agree everybody in March, by the end of March, could have 3 people. Everybody could find 3 people if they were getting $1 million for those 3 people. Because each person is worth $333,000 each to you. Each person is worth $333,000 each to you. So you want to look after these people. You want to help these people. You want to talk to them every day. Because each one of these is bringing you $333,000 this year. But we're going to bring you to $1 million in 9 months from now. 9 months. Because if you can find 3 in a month, then March becomes April, and they find 3. Now there's 12 in your team, and yourself. There's 13 people in this team, but you only found 3. You didn't find 12, you found 3. And if these guys incentivize themselves to find 3 people in a month, we're looking at May. Now, there's 40 people in your business. That's like opening 1 McDonald's and 3 months later getting paid out of 40 different McDonald's. This is a distribution system where everybody does a little. 1 McDonald's shop does not do all the sales for McDonald's. It does a little and a little. And your little bit is 3. And their little bit is 3. 3s are 9. If them 9 get 3 each, it's 27. When you add it up, you've got 40 outlets. You've expanded yourself to the power of 40. More powerful than all the work you could do yourself in any job, career, or business, working as an independent business owner in a shop of your own, or a business of your own. But the leverage of everybody doing a little and the expansion of this is simple. Why? Because you tricked yourself. 3 people is $1 million. And if we tell these people who start in May, hey guys, I know you're just starting, go get 3 people in a month. By June, you've got 120 McDonald's. You've got 120 distribution points in your business. But how many did you find? You only found 3. And you've created a system now that starts replicating and duplicating simplicity. Because these are brand new people in June, they haven't heard about us yet. And when you talk to these guys, say, hey guys, listen, could you find 3 people each? Because 381 is 243. By July, you've now got 360 people in your business. 200, 300, 340, 350, 363. There's 363 distribution points, and now it's starting to go around the world. And if we use that same model, by August, 1,000 used. There's 1,000. And how long would it take you to find 3 people? It's an hour's presentation usually. 1 hour to find 1 person. If it took you another hour to find the second person, and a third hour to find the third person, because let's say the presentation lasts an hour, and you get 3 yeses. It's a 3-hour job. But imagine it took you 10 hours in the week to produce these 3 people. If everybody does 10 hours, there's 1,000 times 10 hours. You've got 1,000 people doing 10 hours a week part-time. 1,000 tens is 10,000 hours in a week. Do you know how many hours there are in a week? And you've just done 10,000 hours? Because if all of these people do a part-time effort of 2 hours a day, 5 days a week, that's 10 hours times 1,000 people, you've got 10,000 hours going into your business. By September, 3 times 729 is 2,187. There are now 3,000 people in your business, times 10 hours a week each. 3,000 times 10 is 30,000 hours per week of production time pumped into your business. And guess what? You don't pay anybody. Why? Because Aurum pays everybody individually. Aurum pays each of us separately. You don't have to pay these people. You don't have to produce products. You don't have to wrap products. You don't have to ship products. You just have to learn how to open your mouth and invite. Bring them into the business, support them, get them started, get them in the water, get them immersed, get them ready for battle, get them armored up, and get them on the way, duplicating a very simple system. By August, guys, you've got 3 sevens is 21, 3 eights is 24, and 2 is 26. 3 ones are 3 and 2 is 5, 3 twos are 6. By August, you have another 6,000 people come in that month. 6,561 people joined your business in 1 month. Why? Because 2,000 people the month before found 3 people each. Like you found 3 people in a month. They found 3 people in a month. They found. If everybody only found 3 people in 1 month for $1 million, you're almost done. You're 1 step away from a millionaire. 1 step away from a millionaire. And you're only in the business 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 months. 1 more month. Because after August, sorry, I've done this wrong. August, September, November. If these people find 3 people, 3 ones are 3, 3 sixes are 18, and 1 over. 3 fives are 15 and 1 is 16. 3 sixes are 18 plus 1 is 19. How many people are in your business now? How many people are in your business? 30,000. 26, 27, 28, 29. There's about 30,000 people in your business, roughly. 30,000. If they all do 10 hours a week, that's 300,000 hours of production in your business. But anyway, it doesn't matter, you're a millionaire. And because you're a millionaire, these 3 people were worth 333,000 each. That's why you should look after. Marry these people. Talk to them every day. It doesn't have to be about business all the time. It could be about sport. It could be something on the TV. Keep the connection. Keep communicating. Keep driving. And keep incentivizing them to qualify for the next event. Qualify. Find a new customer. Hit a new rank. Help everybody rank up. You see, even if they only had $1,000, $1,000 to put in the EXI bot, that's $3,000. And if they all did $1,000, there's $9,000. And if they only had $1,000 trading, that's $27,000. Well, you know that 7,500 makes you a Voyager, and 25,000 makes you Vanguard. So just even with people with $1,000 trading, when you get down to 30,000 people times $1,000, you've got $30 million trading. $30 million trading. Does anybody remember what it takes to go Dominion? 25 million. When you have 25 million, a little bit of structure, you get a $500,000 bonus, plus the 150 you got earlier, and the 100, and the 50, and the 20, $120,000 just in those bonuses, plus the first bonuses on the first page, from Voyager up to Prime, plus all the direct bonuses on deposits, plus all the matching bonuses on the daily profit, plus all the shareholder bonuses. You're a millionaire. I know 3 people have already made $1 million in the pre-launch. All 3 of those people had earned $1 million before the $500,000. Already made $1 million as legends. They hadn't hit the Dominion rank. But just for the sake of it, 9 months from now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 months from now, things can change. Very, very simple business. Keep it simple. Keep focused on going up that mountain. No matter how hard, slip and fall, get up and go. Slip and fall, go up and get bruised, wet, rain, wind. Go over in your ankle, but keep going if the prize is big enough. But you tricked yourself to give me 3 people in 1 day, and I give you a month to do it. In fact, because there's 2 weeks left in February, I give you 6 weeks to do the first part. And then a month. Everybody does it in a month. Everybody does it in a month. And in 9 months from now, you have 30,000 distributors. If they only ever put in $1,000, you've got $30 million free. You need 25 for Dominion. Now, somebody might say, well, not everybody's got $1,000. Well, okay, let's say they only have $500. What do you think that $500 will compounded in the XI bot in 5 or 6 months? It's going to compound $1,000 anyway. You don't really need $1,000. We can do it with $500 because we know in 5 or 6 months that 500 will be 1,000. But of course, there'll be people at 500, 100, 300, 1,000, 10,000, 2,000, 8,000, 5,500. There's going to be a mix. But based on 1,000 per member, you've hit Dominion with 3 people. So that's what I wanted to illustrate tonight, that it is doable. You need a plan. Hopefully I've given you some kind of plan. I hope that gives you the belief or understanding that it is possible. You can do it. Look at 25 million. We just generated 30 million in 9 months. 9 months to a millionaire. Very, very possible. So I think that'll do us tonight. I think if you can take something from that lesson, just start duplicating. Begin with 3. Treat it like a business. Act like a business. Learn, even if you've never been in business before, start learning the discipline of self-employment. Many people I know have never had a self-employment. They're working for somebody else. But you're equal to everybody else. Brian Benson is the same Brian Benson for you as the people that go to the top of the mountain. Brian Benson, his team that builds these products. Leo, the CEO of the exchange, is the same CEO for you as it is for the people who go to the top of the mountain. The products are the exact same that the people who go to the top of the mountain use as you use. The compensation plan is the same for them as it is for you. The 24 hours that God gave you is the same for you as it is for them. Everything's equal. Success comes with a decision. You've got to turn your head into an Aurum head. From wherever you're thinking, whatever you're doing, just flip it into an Aurum head. And those 3 become 9. And we duplicate a very simple system and take you all the way to the top of the business. Sometimes you need to pick them up. They've fallen. Yeah, somebody says it doesn't work. Somebody says I can't find USDT. Somebody doesn't show up at an event. Somebody said this, all of these things. You've got to become a leader. You've got to start picking people up when they need help. You've got to, become become your own boss, but you don't own anybody. You got to sometimes get them on these Zooms and get a dose of motivation into them. Yeah? But this is not to motivate you. This is to give you guidance. This is to give you hope. Don't shout about the money all the time. The money, the money, the money, the money. Sometimes that puts people off. Yeah? Know your prospect. Know what to say. Don't scare them. Don't scare them with it. If you know somebody doesn't have the appetite for $1 million, it's too big of a thinking, don't scare them off. Don't scare them with technology. Oh, well, it's the EXI, ZUS EIXE, XXI, ZUS USDT. They go, what did you eat? What's wrong with you? You're talking a funny language. USD what? ZUS Solano. EXI Pro, Zeus. You nuts. RW who? RWA? What's RWA? So start being normal. Start dealing with people in a fashion that they remember you from. Don't put on some, forget. Don't be harsh on your team when they're not producing. You don't own anybody. They're not your people. We are all independent. Yeah, some people will, some people won't, so what? But sort through to find those. Don't leave people confused. I've been on some Zooms and I've come off more confused than when I went on. Oh, my goodness. Yeah? And give them guidance, direction. Here's how you get to the Maldives. Here's how you get to Dubai. And here's how you get to the next Zoom. Because when you're in zone 1, you're showing the plan, getting people on the presentation. Start building that Zoom, giving direction, Zoom. Show them how to get Voyager, build those building blocks of Voyager. Don't waste time with negative people. If they're negative, just walk away. It's poison. It's poison. Always recruit people with a positive attitude. You know the type of people, those positive people. And when they're red hot, put your hand out. Welcome to the team. Let's get you funded. Let's get your account set up. Let's get you making money. When was the last time you made money when you were sleeping? When was the last time you made money when you were eating? When was the last time you made money when you were driving the car? When was the last time you made money when you were on holidays? Because this product makes us money when we sleep and when we do things and when we carry out our normal career. And when you let people off the hook and don't give them an account, they'll thank you for the account. 3 weeks, I'm like, my goodness, this is great. I'm getting it money every day. I can't believe it. So you owe them the duty of saying, hey, let's try an account. Even if it's $100, just let's try it. I want you to see tomorrow. Listen, if it doesn't work in the next 2 days, say we'll forget about it. But I believe if we get you funded today, the chances are, maybe by tomorrow, if we get the timing right, you'll start making profit. Without trading, without doing any of this stuff yourself. Don't allow the people you've shown this to go cold. I've seen some people. I've been on the phone to a guy. He said, I heard about this a year and a half ago. I said, what? I heard about this a year and a half ago, but it doesn't sound like what you said. What do you mean? Well, it doesn't seem to be the same company. Well, it is the same company. Well, I heard about this. So somebody showed this to somebody a year and a half ago, but they never followed up. The guy went cold, never heard about it since. And now he's joining my team. Because why? They didn't follow up. They did. Here's what you say to somebody. Listen, if it's not for you, I understand. But do you mind? Do you mind if I keep you informed? No, that's fine, absolutely. Because an easy way out for them is, hey, yeah, send me all the information you want. Yeah, no, keep me informed. So what you do is tomorrow when you get paid, send them what you got paid. You got $4. The next day, send them what you got paid. You got $3.07. Send them what you got paid. You got $3.90 the next day. Send them what you got paid. $4.20. Send them what you got paid. $4. Send them what you got paid. $5.70. Send them what you got paid. $9. Next day, $11, $14, $27, $80, $100 a day, $700 a week. $700 a week is $3,000 a month almost. There's the mortgage covered. There's the new car payments. There's the holiday. Keep them informed because somebody else will grab them if you don't lock them into your business. And if you need help, pick up the phone. Get in touch with your active upline. Somebody's committed. Somebody that's working the business. And I wish you every success. And I hope you've got some value from tonight's training. I hope you've enjoyed that. And I hope you put some of the things you've learned into practice. And I hope it serves you well. So that's it, guys. Thank you so much, everybody. We'll see you again. By the way, just take a note that I'm traveling this week. So I'm not going to be fit to do the presentations this week. So I'm traveling. I'm away tomorrow evening. So because I'm traveling, I won't be fit to do that. And then I'm heading to Brazil with Brian Benson. So we're going down there to help that market. So anyway, keep in touch with the groups. If you don't be disappointed if the Zoom's not on tomorrow night. But I just can't be everywhere at the same time. But anyway, let's get moving, guys. Thanks, everybody. Talk soon. Ciao.